Let's move on now because the WA Liberal Council has passed a motion to scrap Welcome to Country and to no longer fly the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander flags at official events. Here was WA Senior Liberal Michaelia Cash on Sky News this morning.
They have now become so overdone, they are tokenistic. But more than this, as a Western Australian, and we live in a big state and there are large Indigenous communities, the one thing I want Australians focused on is not tokenistic gestures that make us feel good whilst we turn a blind eye to the realities faced in Indigenous communities on the ground.
Danica, I'm just so glad the opposition leader's found some fight.
No, wait, actually...
No, that's not the opposition leader. The move is a direct challenge, of course, to the federal leader, Susan Lee, who endorsed Welcome to Country. Indeed, she began her recent National Press Club address with an acknowledgement of country, and she also insists she's happy to stand in front of the Indigenous flag.
Well, the thing is that don't forget, Susan Lee was the one who supported Peter Dutton during the election campaign when Peter Dutton said, if I am to be elected, I will only stand in front of one flag. So I'm really not too sure why there's been a sudden change in sentiment by Susan Lee in the last couple of weeks. But
well, I think, like Malcolm Turnbull, she thinks she can charm the left.
Well,
she can charm her way onto the ABC.
Well, don't forget, she's got to do a focal group. She's got to talk to everybody within the party first. She's got to listening to her before she comes to a decision on this. But look, I applaud the WA branch for actually coming to this decision. But I also want to say a big well done to Michaelia Cash, who has taken a really strong stance on this. I thought her performance in the Senate on Thursday was absolutely outstanding in her support of Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price. And we're going to talk a bit later about this on the show. But what we need is actual leadership like that, to someone have the courage to say, yes, I'm going to stand up for what I believe in. It doesn't matter what the moderates in the party believe. This is what I'm going to do. We also saw it with Andrew Hastie, because he also backed a motion at this same WA event to scrap net zero. It's so good to see these Liberals come out. Look, the reality is we know about Welcome to Country, yet we had the Prime Minister on Tuesday stand in front of the nation on the opening day of Parliament lecturing us, saying it was like a warm hand gesture. And he also said that it wasn't a controversial practice. I don't know what rock he's been living under, but I can tell you it is very controversial, because we all just sit there, we enjoy it, because we have to enjoy it when we don't.
And Anthony Albanese knows full well that it's controversial, but he's trying to gaslight the Australian public to get them to do what he wants. The Liberal Party, National Party, missed a great opportunity. After Australians voted 60% against a voice to Parliament, that was the time to say Australians clearly do not want to be divided by race, therefore, and deal with all of these issues, the flag, welcome and acknowledgement of country, Indigenous voice to Parliament, truth-telling treaty, just deal with it all at once and say we will be the party of unity, not of racial division. But instead, now we're going to have to go through each of these issues individually, and they're going to fight a major battle over every single... It's going to be death by 1,000 cuts. If only they'd had the courage of that. And they had the momentum after they won that referendum. They had Australians broadly on their side. They missed a great opportunity. Maybe they'll start with some leadership. Michaelia Cash, certainly. At least we know what she thinks.
Very brilliant.
The leader of the federal opposition, well, she's still listening to people to try and figure out what she thinks.
Exactly.